Hey guys, Moneyman300 back for some more Forza 5, more tunes on all of our tracks. Continuing on with D-Class, and we are on to Le Mans, the long track. So the one with the super long straightaway, although this will work on both of the Le Mans courses, the old and the new, or Le Sarthe and new, whatever they call the two. But anyway, the one that has the two little curves in it and the straightaway here. I'm just running it on the one with the straightaway just to move this along, but this car's going to work on both of them. The 70 Camaro is the car that you can make the fastest in D-Class, pretty much period, end of story. So you'll see it all over the leaderboard on this track, and there'll be a couple of tracks a little bit later on as well. So the car I picked, we're going to do this live. I ran one lap. We're going to do this even if I dirty the lap, just to show. I did run 4:31 but dirty in this, and the guy I'm running against, that I just picked 200th place. So car is, I'm happy with the car. I know it can run down, but I don't want to sit here and lap this particular track all day long because it could take some time. You know, you dirty it up, you know, it's talking 4 and 5 minute laps. So but we will run it live here. Maybe we'll get a good lap time right off the bat. I'm not going to run more than one lap live. It didn't take a lot of time in the video, but we'll just run this one here. So here we go. Get her going. I don't know what it's like running against this guy. I don't know if he's faster than I am or if I'm faster. Just want to take it nice and easy through all of these areas here. Now, I'm not running traction control. A lot of people put traction control, and if you have problems controlling this, you can definitely put traction control on it, and it's going to help. But I'm running it without it, and it's, you know, it's going to be. Ooh, it wasn't a very good, not a very good turn there. It's hard to talk, concentrate on this section of track. We can talk more when we get to the straightaway. I don't have to work as much to drive it. Okay, we're ahead of our guy. This will be interesting to see. I hit 180 miles an hour is where we'll top out with this car. We'll get a decent lead on him. I suck at the back half of this track though, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We're on a 5-speed. I'm gonna hit up, you know, right up around 6,500 or so and get your shift into 5th, and then we'll just run it on through here. But yeah, you just want to take it easy. I'm just gonna take it easy. Try to stay clean. At least do the best that I can. Not do anything crazy. I mean, it's really all about your ability to drive through the little more technical portions of this track as to whether you're going to get a good time or not. The car is fully capable of running all the way up, you know, as high as you are capable of running it. I'm confident in that. We'll just keep on running here. Yep, there we hit that 180. Oh, he's fast. See, look at that. He is faster than I am. He's coming on pretty good. So there's probably variations of this build that you can make slightly faster. You can cut that corner there, by the way, without dirtying the lap. Stay in front of him. He is faster, but I might be a little better through the turns. I do like to build cars that at least are, you know, drivable to some degree. I really value the ability to run consistent laps as opposed to the one miracle lap, although this is sort of a miracle lap kind of track that you just need to be able to go real fast in the straightaway and hope you keep it relatively smooth and straight through the rest of it. I don't know if I needed to go down into first there, really. This one I do like to drop into first on, though. That's a guy can't turn. Oh my god, that was so slow. He's got to be right there. Oh, how is he not right on me? He's going to catch me here, though, because he is a little quicker than that. He's got a quicker top end. I might have a little, maybe quicker acceleration. I don't know. That was bad. I was a little quick coming in there, which didn't look like it because I was going what felt like really slow. Be smooth here, real nice throttle control. You don't have to, you know, keep it floored all the time. You're just trying to... Don't be afraid to tap the brakes every once in a while through here. We don't want to go off the track there. Go ahead and downshift just to... And then upshift to control the wheel spin. Use your shifts to kind of control your wheel spin a little bit. Uh oh, I went off the track. No! Oh my god. I will go off the track almost every single time on that turn. God, I had it too. You know, and it dirties the next lap. And I dirtied it right there. That's alright. I mean, you can see pretty easy, and I can't even run another lap because it does that. But 4:29. I don't know quite where that would put us. I'm gonna finish on that. We're gonna leave it dirty for now. I can come back and lap this later, but I really want to move on and continue getting cars built out for this so we can start moving up the classes. So anyway, more than capable to run significantly less than the 4:29 that I ran there, and that was inside the top 200 there. So. Easily a couple more laps and I'll get that, I'll be in the top 100 with that. Just, God, that was that one turn. I probably shouldn't have shifted down into second, because then when I came out of the turn and got just a little on the gas, I got sideways and then I overcorrected and right off the track. So common bad driver mistake that I make. Anyway, let's get through here real quick. We'll go look at the rivals and see what it is, and then we'll hop over to and go through our build and tune. I built this a couple days ago, so I hope I remember all the pieces. I probably should have reviewed it before I started the video, but we'll get through her. Yeah, 4:29 right there. Didn't quite beat the race boy 7-minute time. That was clean. A clean 7 minutes. You have to be like sitting on the track to get an extra 3 minutes there. Let's see what that. I don't remember what the exact time was. It was in the 4:29. Just curious what that range gets us in there. Let's go over here. Keep going. Old Le Mans. So this is Old Le Mans. It'll work on Lasarth also. Whichever. 4702. Really, again, this is another one of those, just like the Oval, since I didn't spend a ton of time in D class before, I didn't really have cars and didn't ever really lap these tracks at all. So see, I'm quite a bit off first place, but that 429, see, there's 112, so 296, so would have been right in here. So 296 would have put us right there in 130th place, so not bad. You can see there's some other cars in here. 442, 69 Charger, the Nova is in there, the Javelin. I took the Camaro, but there are several others that you could build and use here as well. And you can use the same build principles that I'll go through. Now you can also see a lot of people using traction control here. It can help you control it, and probably if I'm using traction control, it's definitely going to help me run a clean lap. But I got kind of a rule with, as I'm going to go over to the build and talk about this, but I got a little bit, my own personal rule with traction control is usually, and I'll mix it up sometimes, but if I can't control it, then I need to put more tires on the car. So I don't use traction control generally until I've already done everything else I can with the car to keep it. And then if I still need traction control on top of, hey, I've tuned it, I got race tires, I got wide tires, I got all the things that you can do with a build and a tune, then I'll put traction control on. Because I feel like when you use traction control on a car like this, that's gonna, as you'll see as we get into the build and everything, oh, I backed up one too far. As we get into the build, you'll see it's gonna have stock tires, stock width, all of those things. So using traction control on that is, I don't want to call it, it's not cheating by any means necessary. I mean, it's in the game. You do whatever you can to get a good team, but a good time, and I'll definitely never hold it against anybody. Would never say anything negative against anybody using the assist to help themselves out, because that's what they're there for people to use. But it's just kind of my own personal thing that I don't like to use them unless I absolutely have to, and I've already done a ton of things to tune it out. So let's hop in here. Let's look at, let's start with our build. All right, so go over here. We are going to have an engine swap. You're going to want to do this, put this engine swap on no matter what car you're trying to build for this track. And again, these same build principles will apply to the other muscle cars that you see on the leaderboard. You're going to have to just play with the PI to get it right at that 400 number. But you're going to want to use the 5.7 liter V8 engine. That thing is a beast. So, yep, going to want to use that one. And you're also going to want to slap on the centrifugal supercharger on top of that. That combination is lethal in the lower classes, in D and C, and even up into B from there. So, and probably A once you get up in there. Aero, I don't believe I put any aero on here. So you're not going to run any aero. This is all about speed. All the aero is going to do is slow you down and make you slower. Yeah, you could gain a couple PI out of it, but it doesn't do you any good. You could come in here and look, I actually could have gotten, this actually would be good. Any amount of weight, that's 7 pounds. That 7 pounds could be half a mile an hour or something on the big straight. So I'm gonna add that on there. I didn't. I meant to come back and check that. So add that hood on there for yourselves. Get yourself a little extra weight off. Just as I talked about tire compound, we do not have any upgrades to tire compound. No upgrades to the weight. And let me see if I can find these rims. They're not ones that I commonly use. No, I hate that. I thought I moved over and looked. No, we're really gonna. I think it's in the two-piece though, so or the multi-piece rim style. So let's pop through here and see. Did you guys see any check marks in there? Because I did not. So it must be in the last one then. Looking, there it is. Okay, so it's these here. Let me put these bad boys back on real quick. So 31 pounds. They are light. So going with the light wheels there. And that is all we have in our wheels, rims, and tires. Let's go over to the drivetrain and let's take a look. We're gonna have no clutch. I did upgrade the transmission. I tried it here, and you can get a little bit more PI, but I was topping out, and I was not able to use all of the horsepower effectively for me. So you might be able to find a combination that works without having an adjustable transmission. I could not. So I went with the Sport transmission, which allows you to adjust the final drive ratio. And then the driveline. I was able to go full driveline. Again, just a weight play to add a little bit of weight or reduce a little bit of your weight. And as always, you want your race differential so you can make your adjustments there. For those that are fairly new, you do have to put some of these parts on for them to be adjustable in tuning. So you have to have at least a sport transmission and your race differential for those to be adjustable parts. And the same thing in the handling areas here. You're going to need your brakes. You could potentially take away the brakes on this thing, but for me, the braking is really important on this track at the end of those straightaways, and I did spend a little bit of time trying to just dial that in, or maybe it was already that way, but braking distance is important on this one. So, but you could potentially make a build that doesn't have the adjustable brakes, but your braking distance is going to be a little bit longer on that. We're going to have the full race springs and dampers. That allows you to have tunable alignment and all of those things. Alignment, springs, ride height, all of the dampers, bump, all of those settings are adjustable. Your front anti-roll bars are race. Your rear anti-roll bars are race. I believe I have the... Oh, I don't. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah. So a lot of times in a muscle car, you want to put the roll cage in. In this case, I did not. I left that out. Just a ton of PI. But it does make the car more stable. When you're going for a little bit more handling, we weren't going handling at all, and no weight reduction either. Just we're going for pure speed and horsepower, so we want to save our PI for those things. Let's look through here. Normally, I don't remember which ones I did in here, but normally this is where I would start. Yep. So race centrifugal supercharger in there. We're just going down the line. Stock pistons and compression. I never do intercooler, or almost never do intercooler or oil and cooling, and definitely never flywheel. That really doesn't do anything for you. Unless I believe that if you are using auto and not manual, or manual with the clutch, that could help. But and here's one of the reasons why: it adds weight. So I never like to pick performance parts like this that add weight to the car. I always want to either keep the weight the same or reduce the weight. So let's look at, we're stock engine block. We are stock valves and stock cams. I don't think there was a ton of stuff you could do in here. Sport exhaust, so we do have an upgrade in there. And then stock ignition. and stock fuel system, and one more air filter, stock air filter. So the only upgrades we had in here: sport exhaust and race centrifugal supercharger. So those are the only 2 upgrades. And let's, I want to go in there and look at, let's take a look at all our numbers here real quick while we're here. So we're in 6.0 for our speed is the number that you're looking for, 3.5 handling, 7.7 acceleration, 7.0 launch, and 3.4 braking. And here's the numbers you want to build to try to get to the exact same build. 464 horsepower, 459 foot-pounds of torque, 3,393 pounds, 57% of that to the front, and 5.7 liters of displacement. And there's some other relevant numbers. See, 182. Couldn't quite get to that 182 number. I got up to 180 was the max that I was able to get. So, all right, let's hop over and take a look at the tune. So we got here. Come on. All right, so, and our tire pressure, we're going to have 28 in the front and 27.5 in the rear. That seemed to balance out the temperature pretty well between the two. Really low final drive ratio. That's for that really long straightaway. So I ended at 245. You could adjust a little bit either direction if it feels better to you, but this was where I was able to get the most. It does say top speed of 182. Wasn't quite able to get to that. Just would need just a slight bit more horsepower to combat the the aerodynamics and the wind. So I did end up with a lot of camber, 3.0 and 3.5 in the rear. One thing I'll do is if you get a car like this that the rear really is skidding out, I end up in a lot of cases with a little bit more rear than the front. So felt okay. I didn't spend a ton of time tweaking and tuning because this car is about going fast straight and just managing in the turn. So default no toe and default caster angle at 5 degrees. And then the roll bars, I went 20 and 5, and those rear roll bars is really just about controlling the back end and the mid turn, trying to keep that from skidding and sliding out. So 20.19, 5.46. Springs 767.8 in the front, 493 in the rear. Again, just being really soft in the rear to control the wheel spin. I left the ride height alone at 6.0. I did not adjust those. You could probably bring that ride height down, and that may even help a little bit. So that's something you could look at doing. There really aren't a ton of bumps that are going to get you in trouble on this track, so you could go a little lower with that if you wanted to. Next thing we got is our damping settings. Our front rebound at 10.5 and rear at 8.6. In the bump, 2.4 and 1.3. Both of those are what we call understeer tuned, in that we are softer in the rear than in the front. And that's all to control. So just everything about this car is just to control that back end and move from there. So 48% to the front. Well, 48% to the rear, I should say. It's always confusing on this. But anyway, brake balance is at 48% and 145% pressure. That's your personal preference setting there. And very low acceleration differential. And again, that's just to control that back end coming out of turns when you're getting on the gas. And then 8% deceleration, which is basically my standard. So there you go. This gets you a nice speed car for this. This is going to work again on these 2 Le Mans tracks, and I believe it's going to work on the one Road America, the Road America track east. I don't know which one is. It's kind of shorter, but just has 2 long straightaways. And I think one other track, but we'll get to those, and I'll show you that when we get there. And when we get there, we might just build up one of the other speed muscle cars just to so you can have a little bit of variation there. So anyway, I'm going to end it with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.